Okay, let's check the mic. Check the mic. Check the mic. Okay, let's check the mic. Right. Crikey, we've put 11 hours into this game. Should have got myself a drink. That's what I should have done. I did try that. Didn't like it. Right. Where are we? What are we doing? Probably. Yeah, I think we're okay. Bum bum. So the game has been out one day and I've put 11 hours into the game already. That's crazy. Oh, crikey, I thought it was coming across. Okay, that sleep meter is going down. So I'm going to have to watch that. Very good afternoon to the 2 people watching. I really appreciate you popping in. It's the second time I've streamed today, and I thought actually I've just got some time on my hands today. Probably not so much late afternoon, but thought I'd jump in. The game came out yesterday. Is that right? Yesterday, and we have put just shy of 12 hours into the game. That's a bit sad, isn't it? Managed to buy the I bought another truck, this one has got a, well, it's got 3, yeah, what up, River? How's it going? Yeah, no, I'm live again. I've got, I'm loud now, I'm back on the mic properly. The house is awake. It must be getting late there now, because it was 7 p.m. when we spoke a couple of, oops, that's a rumble strip. 7 p.m. when we spoke earlier today, so you've got to be approaching midnight, maybe, or 11 o'clock. Yeah, you know, I'm just, look, you know, it's, a couple reasons really, I suppose. So I've got some time today, and I thought, well, you know, I'll do a couple of lives if I can. It's really good just to sort of jump on and speak to people. That's really cool. Nearly midnight. Yeah. Hey, I just watched your video of your. I thought it was a TT initially, because I've got the Isle of Man TT, and I've also got Ride 5. And then realised that it was Ride 5, and I haven't progressed that far into Ride 5. I thought, actually, I probably need to pick it up again. It looked like a old school Yamaha. Would it be like a, I'm not too sure, like a 250 Yamaha YZR, something like that? I can't remember what bike it was. But yeah, it's so difficult. First person, absolute massive respect to you. And it looks incredible. Like, you know, I've dabbled with first person in MotoGP, and of course the TT. You know, I you know, had the first one back on PS2 back in the day, and then it might have been PS3 actually, the Isle of Man TT, and loved it back then. Like, you know, just the whole island. And do I need to get some sleep? Yes, I do. Let's just drop in here. And yeah, so I've got Ride 5, and it, you know, I thought, oh, I need to pick it up. But good effort though, cracking. So this is my brand new truck that I bought, which is really nice. We're just indicating in now. One of the most disappointing things. Now, rev it up. I think you'll appreciate this. So we got this truck, right? So we've got two axles of, like, well, you know, it's 8, isn't it? They call it 8. Did need the track help? Yeah, I did see it. Yeah. It was good though. It was good to see a bike video up on your channel. I really enjoyed it. It was very, very good. But I also like your bus and your tram and all the rest of it. So just keep up the good work. Now, you're into your trucks, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Let the sleep go down. It's fine. I'll sleep in a minute, right? Let's put the bigger light. And with trucks like this, is that the first 2 axles should steer, right? Because if you've got the first axle steering, then it will just scrub the tyres. Do you know what I mean? Like on the second axle. And I picked it up because it's a decent, like, it's a big ass truck, and I wanted a proper truck on this game, right? But look at it. They've only got the front axle. You can only turn the front axle, and I was really expecting that second axle to turn. So, you know how I like to be immersive. I don't know if that's bugging me slightly, or whether that would be real life, because I would have thought that second axle would turn. Or am I wrong? And you would have the 3 axles, you know, sort of like static. Yeah, very weird. I thought it was weird too, because typically you'd see both of those, you know, turn. Yeah, I don't know. So it's. I'm trying not to let it irk me. You know. Right, let's park up. Again, you know, another problem with this game. Like, this is the gold edition, right? I don't know. We spoke about it before, but I don't know why. Yeah, it should turn. I'm sure. Me too. I'm pretty sure that axle should turn. Well, duality. I hope you well. I don't know why they didn't make the whole car park so you could sleep in any part of the car park, because I just want to reverse up properly, you know. I want to reverse up here, not in the middle of the car park, but there we go. That is where we are. So we'll not be into enough good sleep. Need to grab some sleep. I hope you well, duality. I've got a bit of time. I've got maybe just over an hour, I reckon. Just over an hour. So this is a new truck that I've bought. I'm trying to unlock all the parts for it. I want to get I mentioned a nudge bar for the front, but the other word I was looking for was a bull bar or nudge bar for the front of the truck, and I want to get some wind deflectors on the back of it to make it look a bit, a bit wider. It still looks a bit narrow. Has it got a sleep compartment in the back? I don't know. Hold on. Can we see? It's a bit dark, isn't it? Let's just hit the road. Bull bar. That's right. Yeah. I think a truck looks neat. I mean, I've got a pickup truck, right? In real life, I've got a pickup truck. Let's knock those off a second. And very hot today, but I'm okay. It's actually quite well. It's not too bad down here in East Anglia at the moment. Just checking which way have I got to go. Straight on. But yeah, I wanted to get a nudge bar for my pickup truck, and I still may. I'm guessing you can't lift the spare. No, none of it. Do you know, Rev? I didn't. Please kick me. I didn't check it. No. What you say? I'll take you. Can't lift the spare axle, Dave. No. Again, they call it truck driver. I think maybe stop showing up this hot weather. So Rev It Up, just for the chat. Rev It Up is in New Zealand, and they are currently in winter. So here we are in the UK talking about all this heat, and poor Rev It Up is feeling the cold in New Zealand right now. So they call it truck driver. We were just talking, Dave, how we think a truck like this, both front axles should be moving with the steering wheel. Otherwise, you would scrub those tyres out. They would just scrub all day long. So I would have thought they'd be on a movable axle. I suppose maybe we were listening to Fat Cat, and he was talking about actually maybe you just need to put this down as not get so quite passionate about the trucks, and that's making me feel a little bit better, I suppose, because of my realism and stuff, picked up the trailer of fragile goods. I'll be extra careful. Good. To get back what I said earlier, you see, my twin brother, Andrea, is also a construction site manager. We've been working for, I'm going to call him Andre. Yeah, I know, in Westerhaven. A bit of a story here as well, if you care to indulge in it. You met him. Did he mention me? We had a bit of a falling out. Yeah, that's all fine. So I think they're brother and sister or something. Not a clue, blah, blah, blah. Does anyone care? Not really. I think when I've sat here on my own, I have read it, but when you're streaming, I don't know whether people are really into it. It's really funny because she's talking about earlier in the story, but I've completed the other, the construction worker, and they've made up. But here she is, she's sort of, we've stepped back in the story. Yes, they should steer with the forward wheels. It's a bit arcadey, this game. It's right, I'd play it if the wheel was usable. I think Fat Cat said the wheel was usable. So if you go to options, so we've got steering wheel here. So I'm guessing, and you can also do the button mapping on the wheel. So I think the wheel might work for you, Dave. I've been really contemplating getting a wheel, even like a cheap one. But yeah, I'm guessing maybe your wheel support is here, Dave. I'm not, but I might be, I'm not using a wheel, so I can't speak from first hand. So we've had some sleep, but yeah, those front wheels should definitely be turning. But it's not a bad looking truck, and I think if I can, get some, might be my wheel, but the steering wheel is way too sensitive on, on this, okay. I mean, if you're on controller, the controller actually feels pretty decent, like, the controller is actually not, it's very controller friendly, I think, this game. But yeah, I picked up this truck. I'm just wanting to try and unlock some of the cosmetics for it now. 30 miles an hour. I was going to name this stream Wreckfest because of the amount of collisions the AI is having with themselves. So we might count how many we get in a stream. So that's one. But I reckon we'd be in double figures before 15 minutes, I reckon. Maybe not, but yeah, probably. Probably. But I hope everyone is well. Duality, you said it's hot up there in Gloucestershire. I know Rev It Up is feeling the cold in New Zealand. But down here in Essex, maybe it's because I'm sat in front of a fan, it's not that bad. Someone did comment, I think it might have been Rev, commented on the night sky here. I don't know if I can quite see it. Hold on. That's our night sky. There is times where this game does look like a PS3 or a PS2 title. But ashamedly, I suppose I've put 6, but I looked at my save and I've put 11. This game came out yesterday and I've put 11 and a half hours into it already. So I suppose if you look at the price that I paid for it, which is $8.99, then I suppose you could say that I've got my money back, haven't I? If you work on the age-old thing of, if you buy a game and you get £1 an hour out of it, if a game costs you £20 and you get 20 hours out of it, then it's sort of, it's give you a, it's give you entertainment for 20 hours at £1 an hour, then, well, that's not too bad, is it? So if this cost me $8.99 and I've put 11 hours into it, I've already had my money's worth. Now, I've not even done the Heading North DLC yet, so I'm looking forward to doing that. We are speeding slightly. But just making my way through the baseline story, really. Just sort of, because it looks like, from what I understand, if you want to unlock the trucks, and if you want to unlock all the cosmetic stuff for the trucks, then you need to go through the base story. It won't unlock if you're on Heading North, because obviously that was DLC that came at a later time. So if you do want to unlock the bigger trucks, hang on a second, what's that making me? Oh right, okay, go straight over. Then you will need to go through the base story. But I've been quite happy, just like in my own little world, kind of. Can't remember if I've seen actual traffic lights. Yeah, there is traffic lights. Sometimes they linger on their red lights for far too long. What's going on with the chat? Sorry, hang on. At least it's dark. On the road feels like a rainy afternoon at night. Yeah, it's. Do you know this on the road patch? I can't help but feel in the pit of my stomach it's going to be underwhelming. I don't mean to be a pessimist, and I hope to be proved wrong. Perhaps that's not a bad thing in the way consoles are, is that lower your expectations. I gotta say, I was playing. what was it, heavy cargo the other day, and I gotta say I had quite a good time on it. It felt quite good, looked quite good, and when I went back to on the road did look, it does need some TLC, doesn't it? You know, you'd almost think that on the road has been out. Is it free? What the patch, the upgrade? That's an interesting question. I would think that the on the road update patch graphic, because they're calling it a graphical update, aren't they? I reckon it will be free. Yeah, I reckon. But they're dropping screenshots left, right, and centre, so you know, hopefully it will come out pretty soon. You know, Truck and Logistics have also been on saying that they've got a big announcement coming. So it's, you know, it's, yeah, it'll be free, says Dave. I agree. I think the same. You know, there's a lot of people maybe 6 months ago that really sort of dismissed trucking on consoles, as if to sort of say, you know, it's always going to be, look, it's never going to be the PC, so we may as well stop that. You know, it's never going to be as good as the PC, but still, I mean, I don't know if they're working on it, but ETS and ATS, you still can't get out the trucks, you know. But how many games can you get out of trucks now? Alaskan. What else have we got? You give up on Fernbus. On the road you can get out. Heavy cargo you can get out. You know, I think it would be. What game was I playing the other day that I thought actually it'd be really nice if you could just get out and go for a walk? What game was that? Clear right. Just wait for this car left a minute. It's coming very slow. Yeah, there was something I was playing the other day, and I was like, God, if you could get out. I think it might have been Roadcraft. I was playing Roadcraft. Yeah, that's it. And I thought, my God, if you could just jump out the cab in Roadcraft and go for a walk, man, that'd be quite something. But I do enjoy. I've been dabbling with Roadcraft. It's a bit of a slower burn for me than SnowRunner. SnowRunner is, you know, I absolutely got addicted to SnowRunner. Owned it on multiple platforms, and I love trucking. You know, I just love, like, you know, I just find it so relaxing. But Roadcraft is, you know, is for me anyway, just simply for me. I sort of pick it up for a couple of hours and I won't touch it for a couple of days, you know. So here we are, coming into the yard, and throw our hazards on. Now the parking. Now there's another problem with this truck actually. Oh my God, can you imagine SnowRunner with legs? SnowRunner. Oh God, yeah. Can you imagine that? Just going for a walk, like, you know, or even having like a base where you could sort of like, you know, I sort of go through all these scenarios, even like Alaskan, like, you know, wouldn't it be cool if you could, you know, purchase a home and pull your truck up, and, you know, they were talking about fishing in the game and stuff like that. I don't know. It's as immersive as it can get, you know. I love it, you know. But yeah, just to go for a walk in SnowRunner and Roadcraft would be. I mean, let's face it, right, Dave? You can take with Roadcraft and SnowRunner, you can go on every single inch of the map in a vehicle. You know, whether it's a pickup truck or whether it's a Jeep or whatever. So let's just get that straight a second. So you can go anywhere in Roadcraft and SnowRunner, right, on the map. So imagine if you could walk or get out the cab, then it means that you could walk anywhere in the map. So you could just go for a walk. I reckon it'd be quite neat. Might get a bit boring. So here's the problem with this truck, right? We are pretty damn in this box, right? And because the truck is longer, a bigger model than all the others, SnowRunner 2, bring it on. Because this truck is a bigger model, it doesn't fit in the hitbox. So you can only get 90%. Now I've tried. I've tried to get it absolutely perfect, and it won't have it. It will not register 100% with this track. 90 is the best you can get, and that'll go down to 80 in a minute, I would have thought. So, you talk about like what I put. I know, right? You talk about like I've put like 11 hours into this game, right? Like, play test the goddamn game. It will only do 90 with this truck. I cannot get 100. And I've always got 100. This is not something, it's not because like I'm shit, because I always get 100 on all the trucks. The base truck always hit 100%. It's not difficult, but you will not do it in this truck. And I'm 100% about that. It will not fit. It just will not go. Say that a 70. Bloody devs, I know. 80, 90, and if I keep going forward, it will come back up the hitbox. 80, see? Well, I don't know what the devs think. I think, I sometimes think, it's that kind of, that'll do, that'll do attitude, And the thing is, there's people here, that whether you have OCD or whether you just want to enjoy a tracking game, it's things like that that really annoy you. Do you know what I mean? I even went back to the base truck, but after having this truck, the base truck is so small. So I've got my eye on another truck, and I've got 20 grand, so I've been saving. So I reckon sleeping in this game, you've got to literally sleep after. Okay, so we've unlocked something new. Tyre wear. Okay. I'm just going to grab another job, because we'll get some sleep on the way, I think. But yeah, that axle, that second axle there should definitely be moving. So I don't think I'll have this truck too long. Right. So just working through the story, really. So we've got another business that's ready to move into a building. No locals this time. They're situated in Norden. Norden again. See, if we talk about the map, actually, there's some people that says, so novels. What's going on now? Hold on. But I can ask in. Sorry for that. I mean, you know me, Dave. I will talk for England. I'll literally talk for England. But yeah, all good really. But I hope everyone is well. Like I said, I'm going to be on for an hour. My partner has gone for a massage. That sounds like. And then to Sainsbury's, and then she's got to pop to bench space. So I've probably got to about, I don't know, maybe 1:30, something like that. So I'm just going to sit and chill. I'm on my own. I've got no drink, so I might go and get a cup of tea later. But we'll see how we go. Right, Star Trek. I thought, I did plough some hours in the original Truck Driver. I never got platinum or nothing. I'm not. I've never really been sort of, chasing platinums. Perhaps I should, but this game, it should have. It's a shame because Gold Edition makes it sound like, right, okay, this is our definitive edition. But at best, it's just had a little bit of lick of paint, really. I might go and sleep again, so we're going to crack on and go straight forward. Indicate in. I don't care for platinums. No. I didn't think you were the platinum kind of guy, Farah. For people in the chat that do not know, Farah is on my friends list, and he has maxed out the platinums. He has 900 and 99 platinums, which is just, I think that's right, Farah, isn't it? I don't know. Do you know how many platinums you have? Because when I see it, it just says it's got 999. Okay, so we're going to pull in here, knock the engine off. I thought I had some lumps on my the paintwork there looked lumpy, but maybe it's just a light. Should have been the brass edition. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it should have been. So there's been no other patch. We had one yesterday. Again, I should, if I'm streaming this, I should know all about it, shouldn't I? But no, sadly, I don't know what yesterday's patch had in it. Another thing with this one here is I don't know if you noticed, but the needle for the speedo is disappeared. So we've got no needle on the speedo. That's hard to say. Are we going left? Left, I think. When the chat comes up, oh no, we're going right. Okay, let's just check that. So we'll whip out here. Yeah, so whether they release another patch, I don't really know. The one thing about this truck is that wing mirror, unlike the base truck, it's quite a long way out. So you sort of have to have this, you know, the screen sort of tilted to the left. I did try putting up the other additional mirror that you can bring in. Move the chat. Oh, you can move the chat? Get out of town. You can move the chat? I didn't know you could do that, Dave. Such a bloody rookie. I really am. Look, my YouTube channel's only, what, 3-4 months old? You know, still learning all these tips and tricks. But, yeah, I did feel like that mirror there was slightly, gives you the options. I'll have to play with that, Dave, and have a look at it. But yeah, here's our second truck, and like I said, you know, I've ploughed what 12 hours into it now, I would have thought, and overall, I've got to say, I've quite enjoyed it. But I do love a truck game, you know. We were talking about firm bus earlier, me, you know, bus driving and stuff like that. It makes me wonder whether I should cover buses. Or would it be too much driving on the channel, you know? I don't really know. I'm going to take a right off here. I start to get flashbacks when I do bus driving. I like all the people getting on board and stopping every 3 minutes, and pull up at the stop, handbrake. If you go back to, I think it's my very, very, very first video on the channel, you'll see me driving a bus. You'll see me sort of literally go through all the protocol, you know, pull up on the curb, handbrake on, kneel the bus, open the door, say hello to people, do the tickets, and then shut the doors, bring the kneeling up, handbrake off, check mirror, indicate out, check mirror again, and then all that malarkey with bus driving. Yeah, I'm glad Sir Patch is all okay, and everyone is doing okay. I think Fat Cat might be streaming in a couple of hours, he said. Death Stranding. I did watch a little bit of Game Tech. Game Tech UK doing a bit of Death Stranding 2. It's never been my cup of tea. Like, it should be right up my street. It's literally a walking simulator, but it's just very strange. And like, I'm not very good with, like, you had to carry around dead bodies. Have we taken the wrong turnings? It's got me coming back on myself, probably because I'm waffling. Let's just check the chat a second. I've not got this yet. Sniper Elite 4 has taken all my... I did see you playing that, yeah. Personally, I've not seen too... Oh, you've seen too much of Fernbus. Yeah, see, this is the trouble. There's quite a few channels doing it, and I think I'm going to stick to my niche. My niece... my niece? I do have a niece. Niche. My niche is sort of like, you know, the trucking, the Wild West, the tactical, and the bike stuff on a Sunday, and I'm quite enjoying that at the moment. So maybe there's enough channels out there doing bus driving. Okay, gotta say, my intention of accessing your truck driving was unexpected. In a nutshell, you've... Oh, thank you! Thanks, Dave. I like to be really immersive. Like, I like to obey the speed limits, I like to check my mirrors, you know, I like to indicate where I can, unless I'm waffling on chat, you know, and you know, if you're going to play a game like this, you might as well get immersive about it. Otherwise, you might as well be playing Grand Theft Auto and just drag it around, you know. Now, I know it doesn't have this simulator in the title, so it's not a truck sim, and I have to remind myself of that sometimes because we're talking about the axles and stuff like that. So, no, yeah, well, I guess controller's always going to be... Hold on a second, is that my turning? No, straight on. Yeah, controller's always going to be that sort of like, you know, you see the steering wheel sort of go, you know, left, right, but actually, overall, if you watch my steering on the road, for me, and this is again, you know, personal opinions, and opinions are like assholes, and we all have one, but I think the steering on this is much smoother than on the road and heavy cargo. I always find that it's a bit floaty, and I'm always correcting myself on those games, you know. Even Alaska Road Truck has some quite good steering, you know. But it's probably way different on a wheel, you know. Now, is this either a set of lights or a crash? Which actually, it hasn't been that bad for crashes because, yeah, there's been an accident in there. So if we can... That's cleared, luckily, it's cleared, that's fine. Yeah, so here's my truck. Looks alright, doesn't it? It could do with a few cosmetics on it. There's a little bit of juttering there. You know we were talking about it, Rev. Like, if you, are they really decent on a wheel? Yeah. So Dave, like, just enlighten me a second, because I have been looking, you know, since having a YouTube channel, I have been looking at wheels, and one of the nicest looking wheels that I've seen is it Mozo, M-O-Z-O. I think Game Tech did feature it, and that looked a decent wheel. So how much you know, what wheel do you have, and how much do you pay for a wheel? You know, without getting into silly money, because ultimately it's not going to be a permanent setup. I'm going to have to drag it out every session, because we just live in such a small house, you know. Okay, this is fairly tight, isn't it? Let's throw some hazards on. Do kind of like a 3-point turn here. Okay, what you got? Hold on. Yep, I only play ETS2 with fines and sleep on. Stop at red light, stick to speed limits. I would lose so much without these things on. I did a video on ETS, the no brakes, no lights, no wipers challenge. I'll need to check that out on your channel. I bought 150 for about a T150. I'm with you as Thrustmaster for £250. The Bose truck wheel would be immense. No space for it though, sadly. Cheap end of steering wheels. Yeah, I don't have the 250 market. I think I might dabble. I might dabble with a real bottom end Thrustmaster maybe. But I think even they might be like 140 or something. They would be cool. But I live in like a fisherman's cottage. That sounds so posh, doesn't it? You walk in, you've got a lounge, and then a dining room with a galley kitchen. Upstairs is and there's a bathroom as well. Upstairs is 2 bedrooms. There's no room here at all, cheap end of steering wheels. Get one second hand cheap. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, have to have a look on like Facebook Marketplace and sort of see. Although I don't know if you know what. If you over in New Zealand, do you have Facebook Marketplace? You probably do, to be fair. But yeah, it's probably a good idea. And pick someone up second hand, and then give it a go. My wheel's the cheapest wheel on the market as far as I know, KT. It's Thrustmaster T128. They're surprisingly good. I'm going to screenshot all this a second. Hold on. Let me screenshot this. Because I might actually dabble with a wheel. Especially having a channel as well, every week we're doing a truck game. We're doing a truck game every single Tuesday. Yeah. You're not completely cut off. No, of course not. No. I'm just so naive when it comes to the rest of the world. So that's on me and my naivety. Okay. Right. I'm just skipping this story. It can get quite laborious, this story. Right, off we go. So we're okay. So yep. Yeah, I'd just like to unlock a bit more for the truck, really. It's very high, isn't it? It's almost like SnowRunner kind of high. That's, Anyway, it's cool. So here's a question then. So, obviously, Dave, you're a big on-the-road fan. In here, we've got our driver. It's tinted glass, but she is in there. And, of course, there is a driver in heavy cargo, but there's no animated driver in on the road. Do you think they'll put one in? Do you reckon they'll put one in? That's 6 cameras to go through to get back in the cab. That's so there's been another crash here. Stone the Crows. Round we go. I think we're up to. Just going to mount this curb a sec. Just make sure we're clear. Actually, let's do it in the cab. Let's do it properly. Just check, make sure we're clear of that car. Get back on the right side of the road. Take a right here. We'll watch that curb as we come around. Try not to breach too much on the other side of the road, but all good. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on the wheel front. Definitely. Okay, they've obviously crashed because they've disappeared. I'd so sack you right now. Why? Why would you sack me? Well, if I was a driver for your company, you'd sack me. I'm a bloody good driver. I'm dreading it, but yeah, I think they might give you a third-person view of your character. Yeah, it's just little touches like that, and I think that's what's missing. I read the blurb out on my first impressions of this game, and one of the things in there was optimized performance, of course, and we can see that with the mirrors. We can give them that. but it said refined gameplay mechanics, and it's those type of things that, even if they just sat around tables, was like, okay, let's name half a dozen things that we could improve from the. Bear in mind, 6 years ago, 2019. What's don't scratch the boss's track. I don't scratch tracks. I wouldn't scratch a track. Okay, shall I tell you about my accidents in buses? So that's real life shit, right? So I drove for Birmingham Central. They called it Birmingham Central. When I first joined, there was 600 drivers there, right? I'll tell you a little story. And I thought, bloody hell, 600 drivers. Like, am I going to go in and just be like a little wallflower and just go in and have my lunch and sit in the corner? Or shall I just go in and kick the door down and just go, hey, yeah, how's it going? Like, and I did exactly that. I just walked in, I spoke to everyone, and I made some terrific friends there. The camaraderie on the buses is something else. Like, the route I was on, believe it or not, the 97, which is still called the 97, never had an accident in a truck. Please rub some wood, and not in a bad way, Dave. So I'll get to the accidents in a second. So 600 drivers, and there was only 11 women, and but the camaraderie there. So the bus route I was driving was a 97. It came out of Birmingham. It went through. There's been another crash here. Look at that, another one. It basically goes through Bordesley Green, up into Kitts Green. There's a car coming. I've seen him. Into Chelmsford Wood, and then up to the airport. So I drove the route. Like I said, I worked on the buses for 6 years, and I was really careful. Anyway, I'm trying to think how the first one happened. So let me think. Right, yeah, I remember. So I came down one of the like a freeway into the city centre, and I'm carrying speed. I suppose I was doing about 30 miles an hour, like, because it's 30 miles an hour, right? Full laden full of people. And the thing is, when you've got people stood up, you can't just lop on the brakes, because suddenly you're going to be doused in paperwork. The bloody everyone's. The police are always called if a bus has an accident. So anyway, so I'm coming down. It's my right of way, and this white van pulled out of the right hand junction to get in front of me, right? And I got on the brakes. I could not get it stopped. I went straight in the back of this white van, and police were called. You get breathalyzed, everything. Yeah, it's and I had one more. Wasn't really an accident. I pulled up at a bus stop, and there was this old lady, and she was sort of like right on the edge of the curb. So I pulled up with the back of the bus sticking out a bit, and then pulled into the curb, and she got dizzy by looking at the bus going past and the advertisement on the side, and she fell into the road. I kid you not. I looked on my near side mirror, and I thought, shit, I've run her over. She fell into the road. I stopped the bus, got out, and she was just inches off the back wheel. And again, the police were called. She just got dizzy. She fell into the road. I was only travelling at low speed, but it's twin wheels on the back, and it just would have would have crushed her, wouldn't it? I think that's only 2 I had over 6 years. That's not bad. Did you ever miss a bus stop or go the wrong way? I've never gone the wrong way. No, never gone the wrong way. They're pretty hot. Plus the fact that the route I was driving was a 4-minute bus. So every 4 minutes there was a bus, believe it or not. So you literally followed the bus in front. What was the other one there? Did I miss a bus stop? So you would miss, not particularly. There's a couple of reasons you'd miss bus stops. Okay. If you I had loads of buses breaking down. I can put loads up on Discord of pictures of buses broken down. So if there's a load of kids on a bus stop and you don't fancy picking them up because you sort of get to know, like, who's not good. We had we had some Romanians there, and we had all kinds of trouble on some of the bus routes. So you can go past the bus, right? The bus stop. Another reason you go past the bus stop is if you're full. So if your bus is full, I tend to lean on the steering wheel and just cross my, like, I'd rub my hands over the top of one another. So if you'd sort of do that, like, I'd sort of say, like, I'm full, so as I'm passing at low speed, if you do it now, just run your left hand over the top of your right hand, and it looks like, I'm full, I cannot stop. So that's another reason why you wouldn't stop at a bus stop. And another thing you would have is that in the rain, in the winter, you would often have, like, a poor young mother there with her pushchair, and you'd pull up and let other people on, and then she'd try and get on with her pushchair, and you'd be like, I'm really sorry, love, I've got 2 pushchairs on already, because there's only room, even on a double-decker, there's only room for 2 pushchairs. So if you've got 2 pushchairs on already, you've got to say to that poor young mother in the rain, I'm really sorry, love, you're going to have to catch the bus behind, because I've got 2 pushchairs on. Or, it's all coming back to me now, or if you've got a wheelchair also goes in the same space as what a pushchair will. So if you've got a wheelchair and a pushchair, equally, if you've got 2 pushchairs on, you've got to look round and say to the person in the wheelchair, I'm really sorry, you're going to have to catch a bus behind because there's no room. There's no room for you. I've had fighting on the buses. I had a woman come up to me and she goes, driver, they're fighting upstairs. And it's like, there's nothing you can do. You just sort of pull over, open up the doors, and just hope that they take it outside. I got loads of stories, I tell you. Another story would be curb. Oh my god, so hold on a second, we've got 100% here. Wow, there we go. Well, that other one was smaller then, because I literally went back and forth. Another thing you have on the buses is, turn that off, is now and again you get inspectors on the route, and they would go like, should they come on, check your tickets, because we never touch the money, so basically, it's a long story, there's so much to tell you. But anyway, ticket inspectors would come on, and the people that's got dodgy tickets would suddenly open up the emergency exits and fucking scarp her. Like, they'd scarp her. Yeah. They're buggers. They really were. I remember watching a British show about training to be bus drivers in London. Yeah. So one of the cool things about... so I drove in Birmingham, which is the 2nd largest city as a bus driver. And so you're completely enclosed. There's like perspex, so you cannot get to the driver. So you do feel safe. And they have what's called a bandit alarm. And the bandit alarm is like a little toggle switch sort of down by your right knee. And if ever you had any trouble or you needed assistance, you'd hit the bandit alarm. But because the bus drivers were amazing, I never felt like, I was alone on the road, because obviously it's a bus route, But yeah, did it for 6 years, and then I sort of had enough of it. Then I'm going to go to this here, and then I went on to National Express, which is a different kettle of fish again. So here's an interesting thing about coaches. With the National Express coaches, to start the coach, you have to do a breathalyzer. They've got an inbuilt breathalyzer on the National Express coach, and you cannot start the coach without blowing a clean test. So if you were drinking the night before, you'd have to get your friend to come over and start the coach for you. Yeah. But that's true. That's absolutely true. And I still got my taco card now. Obviously, do you say, Dave, you drive buses, trucks and stuff, you know. Tacos are, they're bloody, well, they're a pain in the ass, to be honest. The worst thing is like, okay, so here's an existent, a thing when I'm telling all my stories today. So I was on the on National Express. So I go around this way, and we were stuck in the motorway. There was obviously an accident. No one's going anywhere. We're on a motorway. You cannot go anywhere. You're stuck in traffic. Of course, on a coach there is a toilet. So all my passengers and myself had a toilet, but you'd have literally like women in cars. Because obviously it's all, like no one's going anywhere on a motorway, and they'd come and knock on the bloody coach door and say, "Oh, can I use your toilet? Can I use your toilet?" And it's like, no, you bloody can't use my toilet. So you actually have to lock the door. And another interesting fact is that you've probably seen it on buses, but you can actually open bus and coach doors from the outside. So obviously the driver's got access as well. So you've got to hold your finger down on the close door button, and that way no one can open the door. So there's all these little tricks that you do. So when I was stuck there, I had to hold my finger on the closed door when people were approaching the coach, because they'll try and open it. It's and as they did on the things. Anyway, let's fill this up for the fuel. Yeah, loads. Oh, actually, rev it up. Oh, that's cool, rev it up. I was actually thinking that maybe, because apparently, here's a story. I'm full of stories. Apparently, the average age of a truck driver right now is 50. 50 to 55, the average age of a truck driver. And apparently the new generation, or the young'uns, don't want to go truck driving. Let's just knock this off. So they reckon, and this is literally, I was watching truck driver blogging on YouTube, and there's truckers there saying that in another 10 years there will be an absolute shortage of truck drivers, because no one's taking it up. Yeah, so that could be a really, they could pay. I think they pay quite well already. Yeah, apparently in another 10 years there'll be an absolute truck driver shortage. I don't know about you, but if you only got to go on the road right now, and the amount of trucks on the road have literally tripled. And do you want to know why? Let's go to high beam a second. The reason the trucks have tripled on the road at the moment, because there's bloody hundreds of them on the road, is because the demand for shops now. We've got so many shops. The amount of logistics that now need to happen is incredible. It's tripled, probably quadrupled, to be honest. And that's why when you're driving on the motorway you see so many trucks, because exactly that, really, because society now needs all your local Sainsbury's, your local Asda, your bloody everything else. It's that kind of world now, isn't it? McDonald's, there's a McDonald's on every street at the moment. Well, they all need trucks for the bloody for all the food and stuff like that. So the world we live in is far more accessible, but there's a cost to that, Most of our HD drivers are 45 plus. Yeah. Are they really, Dave? Yeah. And this is not me making up crap. This is like, listening to, there's quite a few on YouTube, like truckers that blog, and talk about and talk about it. Like I said, I grew up around trucks, and that's why I do Trucking Tuesday. It's because as a kid in the summer holidays, I'd go with my dad, and we'd be out all day on the truck, and the old school truck calves and stuff like that, getting bacon butties. Bloody brilliant. But of course, back then there was none of this GPS or tracking. It was right. Let's throw our hazards on in the yard. Back then, it must have been quite a I love the fact that we can see the driver in there. It really makes me. It's just that immersive, isn't it? And I'm hoping that on the road they do bring the driver there. Yeah, not the best animation there. So you can see the wheels spinning between our hands. You see that? But at least it's something. It's just something. Okay, we're actually ripping through this story, actually. There's an Australian guy I watch driving the big road trains. Wow. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm looking forward to Australian Road Truck. I'm just hoping they take their time with it. I'm really hoping that they just sort of think, okay, well, let's just release the best goddamn game that we can, and in doing so, I'd put a 60 quid ticket on it if you want, but just make it good, right, so pick up the first trailer with the office. Okay, so it's not here? No. I can't see the way out whenever I'm playing this game. Is that the way out? No. Yeah, otherwise another disappointment. I absolutely agree. I want them to take their time. Look, be the first game to release a bloody an open beta on it, and open your Discord, and work with your community. Be the first game to be proactive, and sort of say, look, guys, the game's accessible. I tell you what, the game's accessible, right? But you only get one truck. So you've got to buy the full game if you want, or yeah, of course, what am I talking about? Most alphas are only, alphas or betas, whatever, they're only available for 6 months or 3 months, and then they close them down. My worry was there just a second that people wouldn't buy the game. Yeah, just, have an open beta where people can just report on stuff. That way you won't get all this bitching then, because it's like, well, it's a beta, just, pull your neck in a bit. What's that? It's tough for me, KT. I've been spoilt with ETS nature. Yeah, but it is tough, but of course we are comparing, apples and oranges, because we're talking about the console market. Unless you're talking about the new truck games on PC, then of course your bar, that is where your bar is, isn't it? So do I need that turning? I need to change this chat because it does come up across my map. Yeah, left here. But I guess I was sort of talking more specifically about the console market, but the PC. So what games are challenging Euro Truck and American Truck? Is there any games out there? Probably not, is there? Yeah, it's very difficult, I think. every other truck game doesn't cut it. That's the trouble. But the trouble is, see, you've got every other truck game at the moment is your Alaskan or is your on the road, and they just don't have the backing, the funds, you know. They don't have the. I don't suppose they have the money. So, yeah, it's like, you know, asking Skoda to make a Formula One team, I suppose, isn't it? I don't know. It's poor. That's a poor comparison, but you know what I mean. Okay, connect trader. That's fine. And off we go. Got hazards on. But you know, I'm enjoying this though. You know, for all intents and purposes, we're now over 12 hours of play. It cost me £8, and you know, I have enjoyed it, and I still haven't got to the DLC yet. You know, obviously you've got to play the base game. You know, if you're wanting to unlock the other trucks and stuff. You know, I'm a bit sick of driving at night. I've got to be honest. Always seems to be driving at night. What's going on? No way I'm part of the master PC master. I would give you anything for a decent console. Yeah. No, I get it, Rev. You know, I do get it. You know, I've got like a little Steam Deck, and my Steam Deck is pretty decent, and it runs Euro Truck and American Truck really quite well. You know, for a Steam Deck, it runs it okay, and you know, I get to see the sounds of Euro Truck, like even the sounds. Like, let's not even talk about graphics for a minute. Let's talk about sounds. Like, why can't we have proper truck sounds? I mean, you know, you could argue that this sort of sounds like a. I'm gonna have to move this chat off the screen. You know, why can't we achieve proper truck sounds, like with air brakes and stuff like that? You know, we're not talking about graphics now. We're not talking about. Surely there's not a you know, a problem with sounds, is there? I don't know. I know nothing. I am, you know, I am. I know nothing. But one of the good things, let's take some brightness out of this. One of the good things is the fact that we now have almost half a dozen truck games that are pushing the bar for trucking. So it will get there. You know, they're all striving to. They're all striving to you know, to push their individual bar. Probably one of the most disappointments, really, and certainly how it was handled, is Alaskan Road Truck. Like, you know, there was a lot of promise around that game. Yeah, see, I can't get 100% on this. Why is that then? But anyway, this is conversations that we've been around. Mods like SnowRunner. Yeah, I can't wait. You know, I'm looking forward to mods coming into Roadcraft, actually. That'll be really quite cool. I might just go for the 90. Fuck it, that'll do. Right. But yeah, you know, I still think if Sabre could pull off a, you know, they've done Mud Runner, Snow Runner. How about Road Runner? Can they just do Road Runner? Can they just do you know, a road game? Like, just do a freight game on the road. You know, how cool would that be? They'd make a mint, wouldn't they? On the Road has a decent sound, to be honest. Not perfect, but overall the sound effects really authentic. Down to the indicators, sound exactly like real counterparts. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dave. I think even the interior, like the handbrake. I know it's a Scania. I used to drive Scania buses, and it looks identical to the interior of a Scania. But you know, we talk about like on the road, right? How are they making their money right now? If this patch comes out for free, I know we all want it for free. All right, I know we want this graphical update for free, but how are they making their money? Because that game came out in, I don't know, well, I don't know when it came out, but it's been out a few years. So, you know, why don't they put some other truck brands in there and put them as a DLC pack? Everyone else does it. You know, if you go on to Assetto Corsa, you know, you're buying cars and packs and this, that, and the other. Have I missed that? So, you know, why is On the Road? You know, all right, we don't want to be throwing money at these games, but you know, if you're passionate about these games, then you probably wouldn't mind putting a tenner down. Like, if they release Daft, like, I call them Daffy Ducks, but, like, if they release Daft Truck, or the Ivecos that I'm after, why isn't that registering? Oh, because we could pick up the job, sorry, my bad. You know, Ivecos, Volvos, and probably every other brand that I can't think of right now. I know it's in Germany, you're not likely to get American trucks, you know. But for all intents and purposes, and I'm not counting American Truck Driver Dream, but where's our American truck games? You know, I can see Rev It Up with his profile pitch there. He's got a cab over that reminds me of Convoy, which I bloody love that film. It's really dated now, but you know, I quite, you know, I like, of course, you know, the Kenworth rubber duck truck. I love that. But I really like the cabovers as well, the American cabovers. And you know, why hasn't anyone done like the same as this, like, you know, but with an American truck? I think they'll come. I really do think they will come. You know, Australia's on the horizon. I think it will happen. Maybe it will be PS6. I don't know. But what we've got to stop. This is what we've got to stop. We've got to stop. And I don't mean to dog this game, right? Chris Christopherson, he was so sexy back in the day as well. What we've got to stop is Unity, right? So you know, I know this is Unity, but the year is 2025. This is the PlayStation 5, and we've got graphics like SnowRunner, MudRunner, God of War, PS4. We've now got graphics out there that look incredible. What's happening to my truck? What is happening to my truck? It's like that cool graffiti when you see the truck like lifting off. I'm going to try and stop this, right? Okay, because that could have got messy. Okay, let's just crack on, right? My point is that why are we playing this garbage on PlayStation 5? When we deserve so much better. Right, let's sit back in the cab. Come on, let's get back onto it. Knock off the hazards. We'll just have just low lights now, because I think the daylight might be coming, or yet again another nighttime might be coming. Things is going to space for Star Trek. God almighty, I've gone the wrong way as well. I am going to take the chat off the screen, because it jumps up. It's really cool because I get to see it on the screen rather than looking down at my phone. But there we go. So guys, I think we got about another half an hour of this fun and games, but it's been an absolute pleasure to have joined me here on my trucking adventures. They've had years to fix it. Yes, Farah, they've had 6 years. 6 years. They've had 6 years to just implement some, you know, as I said in my first impressions, you know, this could have come out and, you could have picked it up and gone, oh my god, look, they've made this way better. I can now park in the in the car park rather than underneath that icon, and I can now, rather than scroll through 6 cameras, I can now hotkey the cameras from the wheel here. You just like, just if you're gonna do a gold edition, make it so, like, oh yeah, you got to pick up the gold edition. It's way better. It's just, it's had so much work done to it. All the things that were niggly before are now been ironed out. But no, but yes, I was calling out games. So what is a good thing? I tell you what is a good thing is content creators out there, be it Game Tech, be it Fat Cat. I'm going to miss loads now. Duality, PMG, CGD, Rev It Up. Whoever is covering games in, and I hope I'm not missed anyone. Whoever is covering, and there's loads out there as well. Squirrel or whatever. It's a good thing now that we do have YouTube, and you are able to see gameplay, and you are able to go, do you know what? I'll just leave it a couple of days, and I'll go on the YouTube, and I'll make my mind up where I want to put my money. Do I want to put money down on it? Because it's about time these game developers, and certainly some of the shovelware, the shovel shit, you only got to put truck into the PSN store now, and the amount of crap that comes up, and they've got a beautiful advertisement picture on there. You're like, wow, that looks good. And it's so deceiving, and even the screenshots have been tarted up to look, pretty decent. You think, oh yeah, I might be worth a crack. That's worth a tenner, and you get it, and it's just garbage, absolute garbage. And this is what needs. Maybe does it need to stop? I don't know. Everyone's got their right to put whatever they want to on the store. Of course they have, but yeah, it's some game developers out there do the bare minimum, put a game out, and hope for a big reward, and then drop all support for it. Alaskan Road Truck. That was despicable. Had that dropped, I mean, it was on the PC, wasn't it, for years, 2 years maybe. It got ported over to console. Everyone is excited. They took the money from the console players, and then they just dropped it. And they announced that they were doing. Of course, we've got that coming. We've got Road Truckers 2 coming. Now, I don't know about you, but boy, did they leave a nasty feeling in my mouth. How they dealt with. They were with the community, and the lack of. They're not bloody Rockstar, even we started on Rockstar and Red Dead, and how that support has been dropped, for a game that I really love, and we do Wild West Wednesdays, and there's a community screaming, literally screaming, for just some sort of support or DLC or, it makes you wonder, why we buy these games in the first place, Anyway, I've got off my little soapbox. You've only got me maybe for 20 minutes. Let's go and get these building materials. But yeah, let's have a quick look at the chat. Devs are pissed when they decided. Yeah, they probably sat there and went, "Oh, I know what we should do." That truck driver American Dream is beyond the saving, but actually we've got half a decent game with that truck driver. I mean, it's not brilliant, but we'll throw a new lick of paint on it and tart up the mirrors, and we'll call it Gold Edition. And but look, they charged me £8.99 for it, so I don't feel so bitter. But the people out there paying £35 for it, with the AI especially the way it is right now. Take a right here. Is that right? I've lost my sat. Is it this way? Where's my little arrows gone on my map? Hold on. Oh, they are there. Okay. There we go. God, they're back. They're back. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought now. Only game I blame Fat Cat for. I knew not to get it. But Cat. Which game was that? Sorry, the one decent trucking game on console, like ETS for example, the shovelware would fail. Sorry, Katie, I would have had so much if you played. I would have so much if you paid £35. Alaskan. Oh, okay. See, I've covered Alaskan, on my Trucking Tuesdays, and Trucking Tuesdays is rotating truck games, and I'm going through the rotation. The only game that I've dropped on that rotation is American Truck Dream, because I just and there's people out there that do like it. There is people that and that's completely fine, but for me it was absolute. I couldn't play it. So but I've been picking up Alaskan again, and I've been quite enjoying it. But it didn't get the love, did it? It's not getting the support, and it really makes you think. It really makes you think. Do I want to pick up? Hang on a second. Do I need this right? No. It really makes you think. Are you going to support Road Truckers too? What's the I don't know. I can't remember what the bloody what were they called? Green Man Gaming, wasn't it? And then what's the other one? I'm still very new to this. The difference between publisher and dev. But yeah, I think they're gonna have a bit of a tough time with that Road Truckers too, because people, fool me once. There's a crash. Look. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, what is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I don't know how that Road Truckers is going to go, and I don't know. We shall have to see. It'll probably be a load of garbage, won't it? I don't know. So we've got some rain on the screen. I'll get to that windscreen wiper in a second. Indicate left and come out onto the carriageway. Please tell me I've gone the right way. So of course the rain in this game is terrible at night. The rain in the original PS4 version is way better. They should never have touched the rain, in my humble opinion. Art fooled us, all duality. It did, yeah. I think. I was watching Game Tech. Let me just look at these arrows a minute. Is it round again? For God's sake. I'll have to remove that chat because it's throwing my sat nav. I watched Game Tech UK cover art, and I got really excited about it. I was proper excited about it. And I put 100 hours into that game. But it was, and yes, it was lumpy, right? But they were just, their communication, they weren't sorting the bugs out, the flashing sky, the bloody, going into, hold on a second, what is going on here? Going around in circles. Okay, so I need to follow this round right, underneath the bridge, follow it round right, and then take the carriageway. Okay. Fine. The Alaskan twist that did it for you was a red flag. What was the twist? You mean when they announced Road Truckers 2? Literally off the back of it, 4 weeks later after it landed on console. Right, underneath the bridge and back on the carriageway. Oh, that was the other thing I want to show you. So there's 11 people in, so let's show them. So it's raining. We can all agree it's raining, right? We can agree it's raining. So if we go outside, I still looks like I've dinged that truck, but the truck is dry despite it raining. If you have a look on the base truck especially, it is absolutely dry. Yeah. Anyway. Was gonna. Oh, hang on a second. People will still buy it. EA release the same games every year. Yes, they do, Farah. Afternoon, Dave. I've been here a while, lol. Does that sometimes with the chat. It was the Alaskan twist, yada yada. I don't remember bugs and fixes with Tetris. So why I'm skeptical about Australian twist, as in why Alaskan, why Alaska, why not just a good truck game series with the gimmick? Yes, interesting, and there was enough about it to warrant existing. Sadly, though, the implementation was appalling. Yeah, I think there's a couple of things certainly to talk about the Alaskan road truck. The initial sort of outlay of, like, you know, fixing your truck, I don't mind that. You know, I service my truck just before each winter comes round, so I sort of go back to the depot and I make sure my truck is all ready. The constant fixing of the radiator, literally every 5 minutes, gets quite laborious, and I think if they toggle the eating and sleeping, it might appease a few more people, because you know, or at least if you could toggle the duration of how often that happens, because often, you know, you find yourself doing a job and then sleeping. I don't know. I suppose I can take it or leave it, but it does get annoying, and I can see why it gets annoying. You know, the eating. Like I said, you know, at the end of the day, we just want a decent trucking game. But at least we have, you know, half a dozen trucking games out there, you know, trying to push the boundary. And I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Australia. I don't think that's got eating in it. I don't think. Maybe it's just a decent, you know. I have no idea. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Shit, I've got low stamina. Oh, there was a bed just there as well. If I can at least get this dropped, that would be the right thing to do. We are breaking the speed limit slightly. But there we go. This is your latest truck game on current gen consoles. The year is 2025. And this is your current truck game. Newest release as of the 27th of June 2025. Eat your heart out. I don't really think we got anything on the horizon in the way of a new truck game, apart from Australia, which is, I don't think their date has been announced yet. I don't think there's really anything else that's really been announced, you know, on the road. You would have thought with this graphical update, you just would have thought that maybe that it would have been on the road too, you know. Truck and logistics, of course, I believe there's an update coming for that. Back in the day, you would get a game released, and if you wanted an update, you just get the next version, you know. We'll just have to see what comes. Of course, we recently had Roadcraft, you know, that's, you know, 2025. And I'm quite enjoying that, you know, as a pick up and play. everyone was screaming for a SnowRunner 2 though. Like we've had, you know, expeditions and now this roadcraft. You know, when really there's a trucking community out there that just wants a trucking game. But you know, if we're talking about buses, like I haven't really delved into that genre. I can't tell you if there's a new bus game on the horizon and what the current situation is of bus games. I think with truck games, I like the freedom. I like the long distance. You know, bus games are all well and good, but evidently, in its nature, you're just going round in circles. You know, and so I like the fact that in a truck, I can drive different roads. I can pull over and sleep, and I can, you know, I can. How do you become members? I'll rev it up. I'm not that big. I'm literally a minnow in an ocean. I only just have just over 100 subscribers, and you cannot become a member until you hit 1,000, I believe. So I'm very grateful, and thank you for the thank you for the opportunity to become a member. Hopefully one day it will happen, and that'll be super cool. I have lots of ideas for members as well. Like I really want to, you know, look after a community. So I have a couple of ideas that I want to do. But fingers crossed, you know. I just keep plugging away at my 4 little genres. I've got a cracking motorbike episode dropping on Sunday. I had a blinding race. I really did. Let's just take this left here. Hopefully we're not too far. Otherwise we are going to fail this job because of low stamina. I think we might be here actually. I reckon we're too far off. But yeah, I do have some ideas for the channel. You know, YouTube seems to think that if you niche down... Oh, actually, hold on a second. We haven't got a trailer on, have we? Let's take this left. Yeah. So here's our truck. I forgot what I was saying now. But yeah, you know, we'll just keep plugging away because YouTube seems to like its niches. That's why, you know, I did some Train Sim World, didn't I? I love Train Sim World. I don't play it as often as some of the guys, but I do enjoy it. But I can't bring it to the channel because YouTube sort of punishes you really for, well, in my opinion, in doing so many niches. So I just stick to the trucks, stick to the bikes, my little Wild West, because I want to mix it up a little bit. I don't always want to be doing driving things, you know. So wipers off, lights off, engine off, sleep. And I think, yet again, is it night time? I don't suppose we can sleep a second time, can we? Hold on. Trains don't do well for me, unfortunately. You know, yeah, no, hold on a second. Oh, we can sleep a second time, that's good. But it's still night time, it's just even darker. British Ace, is that what British Ace does? Does he do trains and things? Yeah, so I think I'm just going to stick at what I'm doing on my channel. People know what they're going to get. You know, you don't want to go into a pizza shop and order an Indian, you know. I don't know what I'm saying. You know, you take Duality's channel. Duality is doing like stories, like you know. I was hoping he would cover indie actually. I hope you will, Duality. But of course you did the Mass Effect, you did Kingdom Come, and stuff like that was really cool to see, you know. No, I can't seem to make it. It just keeps getting darker. try one more just to get to daylight. Not going to get the prompt. Hold on. Yeah, he's a train channel. Yeah, I think people do quite well when they niche down even further. So I was thinking, actually, you know, I probably shouldn't be doing tactical shooting on my channel. I should probably just do trucking and biking or something like that, you know, and really niche down on it. I'm almost at my 100th video coming up, and I was like, should I make another decision and just do trucking and biking? I really like the part of slow and steady walking and doing Wild West, you know, just that horse, you know. It's difficult to know what to do, isn't it? You know, for the good of the channel. There we go, finally, we're in the daytime. So my idea was I was going to park up properly, not in the middle of the bloody parking lot, and then have a chat and say goodbye to you lovely, lovely people. But yeah, you know, should I just do trucking and biking? See, biking is a niche because not everyone likes biking, you know. It doesn't mean that I won't play Red Dead. You know, it doesn't mean that I won't play tactical shooters. It just means that it won't be on the channel. It's difficult. What do people think about that? Just, you know, the 7 people that's in here right now. Do you think that I should be niching down? Because I don't want to drop trucking. I bloody love trucks, and it's staying, right? And I quite like bikes, because I really enjoyed my crew video on that Suzuki GSX-R. And I want to do Ride 5 and Isle of Man TT. So should I do trucking and bikes and drop Wild West and tactical? Or do you think 4 genres will be okay? And then I'll shut up and just read chat a sec. I like the different genres, to be honest. Yeah, it's refreshing on the channel, isn't it? Just to have 4 different genres happening. And just maybe, yeah. But I don't know if YouTube prefers you to niche down even further. You take, like, I follow him, he's called, what's his name? Not Dirty Harry. There's a guy who does Red Dead. Oh, actually, he's moved into Grand Theft Auto now. I think he's moved over, but, you know, you've got Graham Games. You know, he specifically does Gran Turismo. He might pepper it with a little bit odds and sods like Indiana, but ultimately he does racing. I don't know, I'll have to give it some thought, and maybe just do trucking and bikes, because that would really make my channel kind of like, you know, it's like, oh, slow and steady. Well, you need to, I mean, I don't know if trucking and bikes is really slow and steady, but the name's stuck now, so that's staying, you know. I love British Ace, but he's basically gone all trains now. I loved it more when it was different games. Thanks, Rev It Up. Yeah, see, that's going to be the problem. Are people just going to get bored? It's like, oh god, you know, god, KT's doing another truck game. Just another truck game, talking about trucks. Blah, blah, blah. I tell you, let's keep it as it is, the 4 different genres, for another 100 videos. Get to my 200th video, and we'll decide again then, because I think, you know, but I won't be doing, you know, shopping games, or horror games, or adventure games, and that's okay, you know, because, like, you know, there's enough for everyone then, isn't there? I don't know. I'm waffling now, but I think I'm going to love you and leave you. There's 11 people in the chat, and I'm so grateful. And hopefully you caught some of the truck driving that I was doing for the last hour and a half. But do check out the channel. Before you go, we do have Trucking Tuesdays, a staple part of the channel. Trucking video every Tuesday. and we rotate all the truck games that are currently probably the cream of the crop, if you like, on console. Wild West Wednesdays, where we cover, while we do Red Dead 1, we're doing a playthrough Red Dead 2, we do online, all kinds of fun, and a little bit of role play. Role play is certainly my thing. We have Tactical Thursday, we have Ready or Not coming. We're going to run the British loadout. We're going to be hopefully using the British guns and hopefully having a lot of fun with Ready or Not. And then we've got the Biking Sunday. But guys, thank you for popping in. Thank you for being incredibly awesome. I'm so grateful for the community that we have here, and I'm so grateful for the love that goes around. And equally, I want to support you guys, like Rev It Up, your channel. Dave, you post stuff as well, and Duality and and Farah and stuff. So yeah, a big shout. I'm gonna go because I'm waffling. Have an amazing rest of your Saturday, unless of course you're Rev It Up, you live it in New Zealand and it's probably Sunday over there. I love you all. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.